Next for Red Bull, welcome back guys to Fog Racing. And that's the big question folks, what is next for Red Bull? They're stuck with Yuki Tsunoda, who just cannot get a handle on that motor, right? Max Verstappen, who looks like he's going to Mercedes for an absolute insane amount of money, like over $100 million. Christian Horner's at the door, Laurent Mekies is in the door. And I think the crucial thing about that is it tells me that this is like reactionary, because no disrespect to Laurent Mekies, but I mean, he's in it racing bulls, you know what I mean? And yeah, he's been on the grid a long time, Arrows, Minardi, etc, etc, but it doesn't seem like the guy that's going to lead Red Bull to great things. Maybe he's just a temporary fix until the 2025 season ends. But I'll tell you what though, they'd probably want somebody else better. But then there's rumours that Christian Horner's going to replace Fred Vasseur, which again, I don't know. It just seems ridiculous. Which, if we're being real, I just don't think Laurent Mekies being the team principal is going to lead Red Bull to glory. And I think sometimes in F1 the team principals are overrated and things like that. But I mean, if you actually like look at it and break it down, teams that have won world championships and dominated the sport, they've never had a poor team principal. And just because Christian Horner sent a couple of text messages, man, doesn't make him the devil and doesn't make him shit all of a sudden. You know, and the same goes for Toto Wolff. Not that he's done any text messaging, but just in terms of a few years of mediocrity at Mercedes, right? But it's like Zak Brown's a good team principal. I do think Fred Vasseur's a good team principal, you know, but it's very rare for me that someone that's kind of renowned as like a laughingstock or not good enough or whatever actually succeeds as a team principal. And I'm not saying this Laurent Mekies guy is not good enough. I mean, Fred Vasseur came for Sauber, so people will be like, well, why can't this guy be good, coming for Racing Bulls? But can anyone truly see this guy delivering for Max Verstappen? Verstappen's away. I mean, Christian Horner was saying a few weird things to Ted in the presser on Friday, kind of imply, like talking about, oh, Mercedes, there's no guarantee they're going to be the fastest team. A lot of emphasis on that. Oh, Max might leave, Max might this, but I mean, Horner could have been sacked because Max is leaving, or he could have been sacked in a desperate ploy to keep Max Verstappen from leaving. Either way, I think Max Verstappen's leaving. All options lead to Max Verstappen leaving. I just don't really see a world where Max Verstappen is kept on, folks. Well, I say kept on. It just seems like inevitable, but the only thing I think that might keep him is just due to the fact that Mercedes, or Red Bull, are going to have to pay Mercedes a fucking insane amount of money. Going to have to pay Verstappen a load of money. Well, no, sorry, Mercedes are going to have to pay Red Bull, that's what I mean. They're going to have to break his contract, they're going to have to break George Russell's contract. Well, no, actually, George Russell's runs at the end of this year. But it's going to cost them over like $100 million. And people are like, is that good enough for Max Verstappen? Yeah. If Mercedes have the fastest car next season, right, which rumours are led to believe, and Max Verstappen's driving, they've won. They've won the drivers. Now, constructors depends on who his teammate is, obviously, right? But they've won. The drivers are the guarantee of Max Verstappen, the fastest car. That's a fact. There is no guarantee with George Russell. I think George Russell's a good driver, folks, but it's not 100% nailed on. No, there's no proof, you know what I mean, that he can deliver consistently in a race winning car and a title winning car. So it'll be interesting nonetheless to see what happens.